Hey guys, Johnny here. So today's video, I'm all hot and sweaty because I just did my workout. I just finished my workout. Well, I haven't really finished it completely yet, but I wanted to show you something. So I've got these new toys. I've got a Fitbit Alta, and then I've got this heart rate monitor from Mio, and it's orange because it's proprietary for Orange Theory, which I have been doing like once or twice a week just to kind of mix it up a little bit and see how the workouts were. I actually really like it. It's really fun. I did another video at some point on a few weeks ago on my real thoughts about it as a trainer, but and a nutritionist, because they don't put the nutrition part into it. So that's one deficit to it. But it's fun. It's a fun like alternative kind of workout style. So anyway, today's video is about how you don't underestimate what it is that you're doing. You know, a lot of times when we have a goal, we set a goal and we think, okay, well, I can just procrastinate it off until tomorrow. I really don't like working out, for example. I really don't feel like working out today. So I'll just double up and I'll do 2 workouts tomorrow, right? And then what happens? Something ends up happening and we don't do it the next day, right? So then we're like, okay, well, I'll just do 3 in one day, right? And it just accumulates to the point where you can't, there's just no physical possible way to do it. So what I did was I took my heart rate monitor and I took my little, because, you know, science is always a good thing. So, I took my Fitbit and I kind of calculated some stuff. So after I did my lifting exercise, I went to these, okay? So just my stairs at home. There's 16 of them total with a dog gate at the top. So you kind of count, I have to step over the top of it and then turn around and come back down again. So 16 steps, right? And I wanted to see how many steps it would take, what amount of time it would take in order for Fitbit to say that I had burned 1,000 calories. So I ended up walking up and down, and I'll show you. You watch me walking up the stairs. So I'm walking up the stairs to the top and then walk down as one circuit, right? Okay, so I get to the top, do my little turnaround, and then come all the way down, right? Okay, so I don't want to walking up and down the stairs on the video. So anyway, so I walked up and down, and I finally realized, oh, hey, Mitzi, hey, Callie, I'm getting better at noticing these things. I should have tagged some people in this one today, because this one actually, Joy had asked me the other night if I could do some more videos on form and function and things like that. So, so I decided to do this video today on this. So anyway, so I did, back to the stairs again. So I did 30 sets up and down as one, okay? So I did 30. It took me about 10 minutes, maybe 15. I wasn't really counting the time as much as I should have been. And so, yeah, Callie asked me about the dog gate. No one's tripped so far, but yeah, it is up a little bit higher than we want it to be. Actually, if it were down lower, people probably would trip on it because there's a gap in it. So anyway, got sidetracked there. So, so I did 30 up and down. So one set would be 32 steps, 16 up and 16 down. So I did that. And it took me, like I was saying, probably about 12 minutes to do, actually. I got my heart rate up into the green, not up into the orange. So it was probably about 74. I'll show you the numbers afterwards because I haven't even looked at the numbers of that. But I know that the little blinky light on here, when it's on and it's working, see how it's blue? That's normal heart rate. Then it goes up to green. It blinks in your, green heart rate range. Orange is like the best heart rate range because that's up into where you're actually kind of pushing things a little bit. And then you get up into the red zone, which is like that's like high intensity interval training kind of point. So anyway, to make a long story short, I'll explain all of that later because there's a lot of science behind it. I love the science behind it because I'm a scientist. So there you go. So anyway, so I do these steps, right? Up and down, 32, 16 up, 16 back, 30 times, took me about 10 to 12 minutes, got my heart rate up into the green zone, which is good, 74% of my heart rate that I was using as I was going up and down for stairs. I mean, it was good. But that's 30 times to get 1,000 steps in. That's 1,000 steps on my Fitbit, okay? So now imagine that. Let's say I procrastinate, right? And I'm like, oh, 30 steps, that's nothing. It took me like 10 minutes. It's no big deal. I'll just do it tomorrow, right? I'll just double up tomorrow, right? So if you do that, now that's 20 minutes and you're to get 1,000 steps in, or 2,000 steps in the next day. It doesn't work that way. See, that's the whole thing. That's my dog in the background, by the way, not a small child locked up in a kennel. So you walk up and down the stairs and it accumulates over time. And once it accumulates over time, there's no way to catch up with it. The other thing is too, I mean, think about it. 10,000 steps is what the American Heart Association recommends that we walk each day, right? So imagine if you only got 5,000 in today. What are you going to do tomorrow? 15,000? Well, it really doesn't work that way either. You can't just make up for it the next day. It's the same as sleep. You can't say, well, I only got 6 hours of sleep last night, so I'll just sleep an extra 2 tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It's not cumulative like that. It's cumulative the negative way, which is kind of what's kind of crappy about it. But once you go into sleep debt, there's really no way of ever catching up with that sleep debt. You just have to get to a point where you've regulated your body again. So that's the whole key with it, is, you know, regulation. It's all about moderation. I'm going to go here because my dog's being loud here. So what's my point? Well, my point is that anything you do in your life, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's your workouts. I don't care if it's your nutrition. I don't care if it's your sleep. I don't care if it's your mental health. All of that is cumulative, and you can't, the negative effects of it is cumulative on your body, but you can't save it all up for later and fix it in a day. It doesn't work that way. You have to do it over time. It took time for you to get to the place where you're at right now, right? It's going to take time for you to get out of that place again and to move back to wellness. So what I urge all of you guys is, no matter what your goals are, no matter what it is that you're doing in your life, whether you're building a business or you're just getting fitter or you're working on your nutrition or your sleep, take one thing at a time. I do my Fit 5. My Fit 5 are just taking people back to basics, right? Don't worry, don't overwhelm yourself with all this crazy stuff. Get back to basics. Get back to sleeping 8 hours a night. Get back to drinking 8 glasses of water a day, 8-ounce glasses of water a day. Don't mess with all that 110 ounces and all that crazy stuff. Just drink 8 glasses of 8-ounce, 8-ounce glasses, 8 of them, 8 eighths every day. And again, it's, the negative effects of it are cumulative, but the positive effects, it takes time for all of that to happen. You can slide back into a negative state faster than you can get into a positive state. So I want you guys to be really thinking about that. They say that it takes about 2 weeks for an athlete, like somebody who works out every single day, to slide back into a place where they're deconditioned again, where it's the same as if they hadn't been working out for all that amount of time. 2 weeks. That's for somebody who's like really hardcore and works out every day. Now, they say that it takes a few days for someone who's not in that state of being. So if you're not already in a cardiovascular state of being, thank you, Anthony. Hi, it's good to see you. So I wish I could type back somehow too, or I don't know. It just feels like a one-shot response back. So, but you have to really think about what it is that you're doing and take those steps to get there. I was on my Fit 5. Sorry, I get distracted there. So you have your sleep, 8 hours of sleep a night. You have your 8 glasses of 8-ounce glasses of water. You have your nutrition, eat 80-20. And I don't like to call them cheats. I call them treats. So 80% healthy and 20% treats, so that you don't feel like you're, putting yourself in a place where you're binging, because you're depriving yourself. Anytime I hear a person say the word diet, I cringe inside, because I'm like, stop using that word. It doesn't mean what you think it means. The fourth thing that I want you to work on is exercise. Get lifting. Do resistance training. You can use bands, you can use your own body weight, you can use weights, whatever. Do that at least 2 to 3 times a week, and then get some cardiovascular exercise in 2 to 3 times a week, and then do some stretching like yoga or Pilates or something that's just a little bit lower heart rate, but that's stretching and elongating your muscles and making them leaner and longer. And then the other thing that you want to do is get some rest, some you time. Not you time where you're like hanging out with the family, but like you time, alone time, where you're like decompressing. 20 minutes a day is totally necessary. Meditate, whatever it is that you got to do. Journal. Journaling is a great me time exercise because it works the mind as well as the body. And once you get those 5 things straight, you know, take 5 weeks to get one thing at a time straight in your life. Do the easiest ones first, the ones that you do all the time. Do them first and then do the harder ones as you go, as you progress. Or jump into it head first and do the ones that you're not so good at first so that you get into a rhythm of what it is that you're doing. And then once you've tackled those 5 things, getting your life back in order again, now your body's going to be working better, your mind is going to be working better, and you're going to be able to do a lot of those other things like building a business or like working on your mental health issues. You know, anybody who's suffered depression or anxiety knows that, again, the negatives are cumulative fast. They come super fast, but getting out of it is so long and it takes such a long time, it feels like. But if you get your body right, you're going to help get your mind right. And again, I'll get into all of like the specifics of it later. But I wanted you to just remember what I said. Some of you joined a little bit later. So steps. Remember the steps today. Remember to walk 1,000 steps. It took me 32 up and down in 10 minutes to get to 1,000 steps on my stairs. And if I had waited and saved all that up, that would have taken me twice as long tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. But just do it. Just get it all in, and you'll find that it'll be like magic. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for sharing with me again, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.